Hello, YouTubers. Joe and Paul here, actually, of Joe and Paul. And it's, it's been a bit of a time since I put something up here that's a bit lighthearted. And Paul had an experience today at work that I think meets that criterion. Here with Paul.
Okay. I have a mom, and she got two teenage guys with her.
This is at the hotel.
And a little girl. Anyway, they were all having breakfast in the dining room. And the mother got up with the little girl and she said, "We're going up and change clothes because we're going to the pool for a while." And they said, "All right, catch you later." So she leaves. They're not finished with breakfast. And one guy looks across the table at the other guy and he said, "Isn't it great to finally have some time alone together?" And the other guy looks back and he says, "You bet. I've been looking forward to this." Then they finished their breakfast.
These weren't brothers.
No, they look absolutely nothing alike. I mean, they're two.
Tell them you've already told me.
They're two. These guys, I'd say, no, they're not. They're not brothers. They're buds. And then I'm over by the pool area in the elevators, where here comes the two buds. They get on the elevator, and elevator comes down. Well, off comes mom and kid's sister of somebody's. And she goes, "Your sister and I are going to the pool for a while." She said, "If you guys are in a mood," she says, "why don't you hurry back down and catch up with us?" And the one that was evidently her son, the third one, he says, "We have to go and change this stuff." He says, "But we'll be back." So they get on the elevator and the door is still open and you hear this like a high five slap. And one goes, "All right, we've got some really true time alone in the room together." And the other one said, "Exactly." And he said, "That's what we really need." He said, "We'll catch up with them later, just like you said." And the door shut and off went the lift.
This is not made up, by the way. This is not Fantasyland material. This is a story from the hotel.
They were like 15-year-olds and they're buds mates, and somehow, one guy came along with this guy and his mom and his kid sister. They've been there for like 3 days.
Oh my, what are they doing?
Well, the boys are trying to have as much time alone together.
I know what the guys are trying to do. What's the is the mother meeting or some?
No, they just hang out in the hotel.
They didn't get burned out of their house or something like that.
No. They just come down and have breakfast, and they hang out in the pool area and stuff, and that's about it. Oh, they might go off and go shopping over at the mall and that.
Now, meanwhile, and then if you tell this, don't use names. There was an interesting thing about employee interaction with each other today as delivered by Paul's supervisor.
Okay, she didn't like for me to talk to the cook in the kitchen. She doesn't like because we're too chummy. Anyway, I'm over there and I'm getting trash out of trash cans. Well, the cook starts asking me if I could get her some paper towels for her towel dispenser in the kitchen. And I said, well, I think we're out. I said, but I'll get you regular paper towels like you used to use originally. She said, that'll be great. Well, while we're having the conversation, I'm looking at the trash only. I'm not turning my head and looking at the cook. So she goes, do you know...
It's like a bad spy novel, isn't it?
She goes, do you know we're being stared at by what's her name? And I said, yeah, I can see her out of my peripheral vision. She's standing down there by the coffee tables. I said, she's got her fists wadded up and she's got them on her hips like she's about ready to whoop butt. I said, that's why I'm not looking at you. I said, that's why I'm only paying attention to garbage and trash bags. But meanwhile, the cook, she was stocking napkins in the napkin holders for
was she packing them in? Was she packing them in extra thick so that when you pull them out, you either rip the napkin apart, or you have to take out huge chunks of napkin?
We don't have that kind of thing.
Oh, okay.
We have kind of like a wire thing, and they can lie in there flat.
Oh, that's nice.
Lift them off the top of the staff.
Well, that's very gracious. That's very sensible.
Not to yank out like you do.
It's like you're packing it into some sort of can.
Roadhouse restaurants.
Yeah. So, how many times have we all pulled out half of the napkins from one of those containers, guys, when we've been traveling?
Oh, it just keeps coming out in shreds. Oh, those were always
I didn't mean to interrupt you. I mean, I get enthusiastic.
No, she stood there the whole time staring at me while I was emptying the trash. So I know
maybe she was
waiting.
Maybe she's amazed seeing somebody working.
No, I think she was waiting to see if Kara and I were just going to stand there and shoot the shit. But I kept moving and doing the stuff.
Well, because that's what you do.
And Kara just kept moving. She was going from trash can to trash can.
That's what she does.
Standing there looking at me. And I'm like, I said, as long as you're looking at me, I said, she knows you'll try and have some kind of a conversation with me. I said, so.
This supervisor has a very large behind.
I said, that's why I'm not. I said, that's why I'm not looking
I think
at
that's
you.
what she's doing. I think she's growing this large behind while these guys are working.
Oh, she showed it up with that.
Well, you've got to maintain that. That takes a lot of maintenance to maintain a large behind. The care and maintenance of a large behind. I bet there's a manual on that somewhere.
When this woman I don't know how she got the job. Because, like, anybody that's head of a department shows up at somewhere, and everything's done on computer, you figure this person would have some kind of computer knowledge.
No.
She didn't have
any.
We
all do now. Don't we?
She didn't have
9 months later.
She did. I had more than her.
Well, he actually did, actually.
And so did Lee. I mean,
no name.
We had to teach her how to do stuff. We even had to teach her how to get to the email on the computer. I mean, she couldn't figure it out. We had to show her where to find it and stuff. And then how to even send one off.
She had come from the fast food industry. and and didn't, so she tried to micromanage all the employees, every moment of the day, like you might do in the fast food industry. Go make that hamburger, go check that customer out the drive-thru.
No,
But
do it now.
but
do it now.
but
do
when
it now.
but
Don't
when
do it now.
but when you have a 6th-floor building to tend to in C2, she was not willing to let the employees sort of plan their way to cover all the work. See?
Right.
And I guess she's been there what now? Well, you've been there too. So she's been there just slightly under 2 years, I guess, right? And she still hasn't quite figured out that you can't micromanage people over an entire building like this.
April, her anniversary was sometime in April. Being there a year.
Oh, so she's a year. You were there. Your anniversary
I
was
was there
April.
before.
So he's got he's got a year on her in that sense. But I mean, she's his boss or direct supervisor. Let's put it that way. I mean, his boss is the manager of the hotel.
Yeah, but what my immediate person says is what goes. I mean, even manager of the hotel will come and ask her permission to have me do something to help somebody else out.
The manager of the hotel knows how to not embarrass and usurp underlings. It's almost as if she had had military training.
I mean, the GM,
she has a private word with people.
the GM will just let me. I just run around and do stuff, and get it done, and that was that. It was never, like this new immediate one. It's always, when you gonna do this? When you gonna do that? No, it's already, it's done.
I imagine if Paul didn't have to pause to answer these kind of questions. Seeing as how a lot of her questions were devoted to trying to get him out of there earlier than what he might otherwise be out of there, if she didn't ask him those questions, it may well be that indeed she would achieve her goal of getting him out of there about 15 to 20 minutes sooner each day by not making him pause in the middle of his routine to have to rethink and reset his routine. Probably more so, actually. But that's okay, because that means Paul gets another, $3 to $4.
I can get 4 things done while taking out the breakfast trash the first thing when I get into the inn.
Well, of course. Yes.
And then she wants to know if I've done these yet, and it's like, yeah.
And you ought to add off the clock, by the way.
No, they're not off the clock.
Oh, I thought they were. I thought you sort of did that on the way in before you clocked in.
No, well, I'll go look.
Oh, I see.
What I need.
Okay.
I go look and see what I will need to do.
But you did do that initially for a while, didn't you? Until they told you not to do it.
No.
Oh. He's more savvy than I thought. Good for you.
I do the checking when I first get there off the clock, but I don't do it.
Well, good for you. God bless you.
I wait till I need to punch in. It's usually like 2 minutes before I'm due, which is allowed because it will automatically be on the correct time.
Well, I think we've covered our topic for today. I was going to do a book review for you guys today, but this is far more fun and far more apposite to how people really live. So I'm going to say bye-bye now, YouTubers.
Have a good night.
There we go.